On February 19, 2009, agents from the Narcotics Task Force of Jackson County, Mississippi, raided a retired heart surgeon's 50-acre property. Dr. David Allen had moved to California 4 months prior to start a medical office, recommending medical marijuana. Narcotics agents found a couple of grow lights in storage and a few grams of cannabis and hash in Dr. Allen's brother-in-law Rodney Lee's pocket. So, Commander Curtis Spears of the Narcotics Task Force of Jackson County seized Dr. Allen's land.
We're talking about asset forfeiture laws, which are laws in the U.S. that allow the police and government regulatory agencies to basically seize anything, your home, your bank account, your cars, without ever even accusing you of a crime, much less convicting you of a crime.
Rodney Lee and Dr. Allen's sister, Gail Ann Lee, flipped from co-defendants to state's witnesses. Miles Broadway, Dr. Allen's neighbor, witnessed Gail, Rodney, and narcotics agents stealing everything Dr. Allen owned.
They come in on one weekend and with the people that used to, that were staying there. And
Gail and Rodney?
Yeah, it was Gail and Rodney, and I had quite a few people with them, and they basically moved everything, I think it was in the house, out.
Throughout the country, all the police have to do is accuse you of being involved with drugs or guns or some criminal enterprise. Again, accusation, no proof whatsoever, and they can seize your house, they can seize your bank account.
The exact number of the people, it was I think seven police calls.
When the police seize your assets, what they do is a certain percentage goes to the police, a certain percentage goes to the judge, a certain percentage goes to the district attorney, and a certain percentage goes typically to the state.
Everyone gets their cut from the stolen property, all the way to the top.
They also threatened many doctors who were prescribing marijuana with arrest, revocation of their licenses, seizure of their assets, and all kinds of other horrific punishments simply because they're prescribing marijuana or prescribing prescription pain medications.
Dr. Allen's property was seized 4 months after he began a medical marijuana practice. When Dr. Allen was arrested, he was extradited in shackles from California to Mississippi. 2 days in the trunk of a North Atlantic extradition van. Joe saw Dr. Allen shackled in the trunk.
I was a passenger in a NAES, which is North Atlantic Extradition Service van, with 6 people in a 4-passenger van.
North Atlantic Extradition Service is owned by a Mississippi millionaire named Tony Mulligan. His credentials, a security guard's license.
This is Dr. David Allen, and I just wanted to say that Joe and I were in this van together. They transported me in the trunk of the van. The rest of the people that were in the van were not allowed to sleep. They kept us all in shackles. They stopped very infrequently and didn't allow us to empty our bladders and bowels.
Dr. Allen was in the trunk, laid up, shackled up, nowhere to go.
Basically, there should be cameras in every jail in the country because they can take you away and beat you senseless or kill you.
Commander Spears kept Dr. Allen in jail for 10 days.
You have a very short period of time to respond, 10 days. And if you're arrested, it's impossible to respond. Or if they take, in the case where they grab your house and bank account, you have no money to hire an attorney. They give you a sheet when they book you, and you give you 10 seconds to read 2 pages of tiny print, which is obviously impossible. And buried in those 2 pages of tiny print is a statement that you have 10 days to respond to get your money back, or it's gone forever.
After being released, Dr. Allen received a travel voucher from his bail bondsman and returned to California, until he headed back to Mississippi to gather evidence against the Narcotics Task Force. Dr. Allen lasted 2 days investigating narcotics agents before they took him back to jail. We just met the Jackson County Narcotics Task Force. They came in on a raid, detained us, took Dr. David Allen to jail, and kept him.
A cop that kills someone, and a police agency that covers it up, or a police force that's grabbing people's assets, Basically, and again, it's covered up and smiled upon at the highest levels of the police become criminals and should be in prison. The only solution, I mean, ultimately, you're going to have the people responsible brought to justice, or you will have no justice. So the answer is you want to prosecute the people who are the most blatant offenders, and the others will become much more careful in what they steal and who they shoot. They're basically thieves with badges and should be in jail.
Dr. Allen sits in a Mississippi jail with no bail and no date for a trial.